Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about part 4 of relative clauses, cleft sentences. Cleft means complex sentence structures. Because there's also advanced part, as you know, of relative clauses, which dictates us first to understand the sentence, meaning of this complex sentence, and then define relative clause in a sentence and understand its meaning. So part 4 relative clauses, cleft sentences. So we're going to learn relative clauses today on two different bases, basic forms and advanced forms. So first let's get to know basic forms. So basic forms. These forms are just standard forms of relative clause 1. You just add here, for example, it is to the beginning of the sentence, and you combine it with relative clause sentence, complex sentence, and that's all. Let's see. This is like it, destructed to be plus, it plus, to be plus. For example, a person, then who, and verb, and the rest. Or it, again, plus to be form. Can be any to be form, different to be forms. Is, are, were, was, has been, have been, had been, would be, would have been, different forms. Depends on this context or the tense. But the most important thing is that the structure that you have to know. So it to be plus a thing, plus which, and the rest. Then it plus to be plus, for example, a person, then whom, and the rest of the sentence. I'm not writing the rest of the sentence because from the first part of relative clause, the first lesson, what's written, what's used with whom structure. And then we can also add here it plus to be, for example, a place, plus where, and then also it plus to be plus the time expression plus when, and so on and so forth. So for more details, you can watch the first relative clause 1 lesson about other possible relative pronouns. So all we do is to just make this combination. Let's look at an example. It is a person. It's a person who won the tournament. For example, won the tournament last year. So in this sentence structure, if you look at carefully, we see it is just it, the same it here. If you look, it, and to be is. You see here is. A person here as an article. Of course, this person can also be people, just plural noun. But what is paramount here, as a fact to know, is that it is just people, the category of people, or person. And then we have who, as you see here, just a person, it goes here, and we have who. And the verb we have one, we used here like past form, and the rest of the sentence. I mean, you can also conclude the sentence in a way you want. This is basic forms of relative cleft sentences, also the part for relative clauses. If it's okay, you can also pause the video and look at the sentence and get the more details if you want, just using other sentences too. I mean, you can also make the similar sentences using the following structures. Now, this is the first part, and let's move on to advanced forms. Advanced forms. Second part. In this part, I'm going to give you genuinely advanced forms of sentence structures, which you almost every day when you do reading passage in SAT, TOEFL, or IELTS, that you see them when you read. So it is actually the part which also teaches you how to understand those sentence structures when you see. The first is this, for example, the thing, the structures, the thing, that, so let me also change the marker, the fact, or the fact. Actually, so we can just write just like this, the fact that, okay, it's not. And the thing that, the fact that. This is three indicators, let's say, and plus a clause one. The clause here is sentence structure, independent clause, but independent, which has its own subject and plus predicative, let's write a verb, plus clause. Then we also have the to be form. Why we need to be form here? Because the fact that this verse actually turn into the subjects of the sentences. So, and to be form, to be plus. Here we also have that we can use here as a conjunction, but it's just optional. If you want, you can also omit it in a sentence when you make. So that's why I'm writing this now here in parentheses. And plus the clause to in the same way we have here the subject to plus verb to. This is the whole structure, advanced structure that we need to know. So okay, here is the thing that the fact that the clause one should be that in a clause to. Let's look at an example. Here example. Let's look at an example. Let's look at an example. The thing, or you can also write the things. We can also write like that. The thing, or the thing that. We can also even just write it here. The thing that I want in life is just peace. Is just peace. Peace, for example, everyone needs. So a complex sentence a bit. So let's the thing that is here optional. You can also write it here. Like the fact that, the thing that, or just the thing. I want, this part is the thing, this structure the same here, this part. That is optional, as I said. I want in life. I want in life, this part, I want in life, is our first clause. And then we have to be, as you say, here is. And just peace, everyone is. It is another sentence, another part here. So actually here, it's not like clause, because a sentence concludes here, gets concluded here. But I wrote, it's also possible, here instead of clause to, you can also write the phrase. So but what message is fundamentally delivered basis, let's say, is that you know that we just put different clauses in a complex and we then bind them, we bring this to the beginning and the subject here, it's verb here, predicative, then we just here lay the clauses to make complex sentence. So like this, instead of the thing, I can also write just that, the beginning of sentence, just that, it's also okay, or I can write the fact that, it is also okay, no problem. And all these forms, all these phrases possible to be written here to mean something. Okay, so we can actually now clean them, or to continue the second part of advanced forms. The second part of advanced forms, also similar to the ones I wrote now, on the board, vote and all. So the similar structure, going to be written for what and all. What plus close one, then to be, then that, but it's optional, as you know, optional. Then a phrase or close to. So this is because it is more general form of establishing the fact about the sentence structures. So okay, this is pretty similar to what I gave before, almost the same. Let's look at an example here. Example. So what here, if what is subject of a sentence, it can be in a single, it can be understood, or it can be meant in a single or plural form. It depends on what you mean before making your sentence. That's why then we decide, after we see the sentence, when we make the sentence before we make. But when you see sentence, depending on how it's written there, or with which verb it's written, to single form or plural form, after seeing it, you decide whether what here means something singular or means something plural. For example, what I don't understand. I don't understand. What I don't understand is that why people hurt one another. So this is one, for example, sentence. So if you look at this sentence, can you notice that here, of course, what here is subject of the sentence? So it's a subject of the sentence, by the way, like the thing, that, the fact that, also what and all, these are all subjects. Let me also write here. It just maybe I mentioned. Right. And this is the verb of the sentence, or predicative of the sentence. Now, okay. So what I don't understand is that why people hurt one another. Here, I don't understand is a close one. Let's write a close one, and is to be formed here. We have written that just optional, but this time I kept it here. Or we can also omit it. The sentence is also true. In that case, sentence is also true. Why people hurt one another? It's a normal sentence here, but it's complex. So this part, why people hurt one another, is second clause, for example. And this is one more sentence. So I think it is pretty clear. Subject is what, and the clause I don't understand is clause one. To be is that, the same that, and close to here, why people hurt one another. So I think it's so clear to all of you listening to me or watching the video. I think I cleaned the board to write another example for all. But here, listen guys, all here is not a quantifier. All here is kind of a relative pronoun. Okay, but the structure is the same. Example. All I have eaten today, for example, has been just a hamburger. For example. So all is the subject of the sentence because it comes in the position of subject. So that's why it's subject. And if it is sentence, if you call it a cleft sentence, just a sentence, it also needs to have its predicative in a sentence. In our example, in this example, it's going to be has been, because all I have eaten today, I have eaten today, this part is understandably close one, and has been is a subject of the sentence, which is linked to all, because all is a subject of sentence and has been is a verb. And then hamburger, the phrase I wrote here, I use this like this one phrase. I conclude the sentence with a phrase. And this is all about relative clauses for part 4. We here today learned advanced forms, advanced sentence structures, and advanced relative clauses by which we can make complex sentences to actors understand writing passages, also on a greater base reading passages when we read, and finally we improved our level to understand more complex sentence structures. See you soon, guys.